defensive line. So, and Darryl's, you don't even have to, he doesn't have to introduce himself. He's like, there's certain voices you remember. Betsy's one of them, and Darryl's that other one. You know whose voice it is when they come on. But if there's anybody that's been doing the level up beast mode like crazy, and I know my daughter's jumped on just to watch because of, she said, this guy's doing it. So Coach Palmer actually knows Darryl much better than I do, even though I've seen him on many of our calls. And I'm going to let him talk to Darryl about what he is. I mean, this guy's taking it to the, you talk about leveling up, he's taking it to the next level up. I mean, that's the way to describe that. So Coach Palmer, I'm going to turn it to you because I know you've got a little bit of information and pictures to even show.
Absolutely, Chris. And first off, I want to say this Saturday morning has been a staple for me in my business and just my outlook for the week. So I really appreciate you putting these on every Saturday morning. I know when we came over to RX and now New Age, it was a staple. So everybody that's on here this morning, I applaud you, and maybe you put in the chats just what this call means to you to kick your week off. And I want to challenge everybody to, we also do on a Sunday night, it's kind of our mirror call to Saturday morning with Andrea Rosser. She's going to actually have Ann Wilson on from the Tahishinoni tribe and tomorrow night, as well as some testimonies. So jump on that call at 8 p.m. Central. But Chris, this is an amazing call. And one of the things I love you love that you do is you always recognize people and testimonies. And so I have the privilege this morning, and I'm going to bring this up real quick, screen share with you. So just bear with me. But Chris talked about Darryl Peterson. Darryl's north of Seattle, Washington. Can you see that okay, Chris?
Absolutely.
So this is Darryl. Darryl joined the Level Up Live community, and I challenge you, if you're not a part of that community, just go search Level Up Life as a group on Facebook. And Darryl's, been with us, been with me and my organization for several years. But Darryl did. I'm gonna see if I can back up a little bit. Darryl is just every day making posts in Level Up Life. And just recently, Darryl's always been the guy that I've always considered, just always trying and working to stay in shape. Look at this guy. But recently, day 26, recently he decided to go beast mode. And I think it was Kristen and the group in Destin, Florida that really, we'll let Darryl talk about that, maybe inspired him to go beast mode and start doing something early in the morning like this. But this sucker is like taking it to the next level, just with his self-development, with him learning. You see there he is watching Tim Sales, getting after it. I'm going to show one more here. But, early in the morning, again, he's right up close to the Canadian border there. But you see day one beast mode challenge and what he's doing. And, I got to give a shout out to your daughter and an amazing leader in this company, Chris. Kristen White is just kind of leading the way for this beast mode challenge. But so without further ado, I just wanted to show you a couple of those with Darryl. But Darryl, are you unmuted? Can you hear me, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Darryl. Hey, tell everybody where you're from, if you will, and just kind of your age and what the Level Up community means to you, man, because you are absolutely inspiring.
Well, thank you. I'm north of Seattle, between the middle between Seattle and Canadian border, Lake Stevens area, Washington. I'll be 58 in 2 months. Like you said, Brent, the Destin thing kind of kicked me in the butt. I thought it was great that the modification as far as the beast mode, because physically I wasn't able to do the first beast mode that they put out there. And watching a couple of the people do it, it kind of frustrated me that I couldn't get to that level. So to let them know that it was okay to do some modifications and to do it, make it your own was I don't know, inspiring for me, maybe that I could pick it up and maybe take it to the next level.
Yeah. And Darryl, let me just say this for everybody on here. The reason you're inspirational to me is at 58 years old, you're willing to admit, man, if I went to Level Up Life and I searched guides and I looked at the Beast Mode Challenge, it's a little bit of a daunting task. And then we go into Destin, and Kristen White kind of lays out an alternate version of an abbreviated Beast Mode. And Darryl's somebody that's always, I've been in business with Darryl for years. He's always been in the gym. But I see that you're making that move, and you're daily on Level Up Life. You're doing those daily posts. And I got to make a kind of put myself out there. I have been in a struggle the last, really, to be honest, ever since Destin. I've battled some sickness. I've battled some, and just falling off the wagon. And so recently I've been in Level Up Live, kind of gazing in at what you're doing, Darryl. And Monday for me, I'm going to step back on track. And I share that with you because you never know, if you go in there and post on a daily basis what you're doing, you never know what an inspiration you are to somebody else. Because I'm watching you and you become an inspiration to me, and you're pushing me to step back out, get back on the wagon and start going. So let me ask you this. What's kind of transpired since you've been in, you decided, like, I'm moving, I'm going to do this thing, step into this abbreviated beast mode and start making these posts on a daily action, taking daily action. What's transpired in your health, in your life, in your body?
Well, first of all, I think, like everybody's talking about in Destin, I think the key word down there was the intention. So the intention was to, besides getting myself back into shape and put myself out there, let people know that, there are people watching you that you don't know about. And if I want to level up my business and my health, I got to get out there and do it. And it's just like you just got to do it. Just like Roy Williams said, you just do it.
Yeah.
And do it. And it's better because more people have reached out to me and said, I'm watching what you're doing. And they've made more contacts. So it gives me more leads, more people to talk to about. So it's helping all the way around.
Yeah. And so I'm somebody that's pretty dang consistent in my business and pretty bad at my health. And so that's why I'm saying you're really inspiring me to jump in there. I challenge everybody on here to go search Darryl Peterson, go to the little search bar in Level Up Life and search Darryl and look at what he's doing. Look at I call it the abbreviated version of the beast mode, but see what he's doing. Because Darryl, last thing I want to ask you is, what have you noticed in your body? Like, since you've been doing it, like, what have you got more stamina? Are you seeing a difference? Have you lost some body fat? Like, what's going on with you?
Well, another frustrating point about that is I haven't been losing much weight. It's like it's supposed to be a transformation. Well, I got not much to transfer. The weight transformation isn't there. But today I hit a goal. I'm down to 249 instead of in the 250. So, yay me. So, but yeah, no, it's everything's your mindset is better. Your outlook on life. People don't piss you off as much anymore. You can overlook some of those obstacles that used to kind of nag at you and get to you sooner, I guess. It's just more patience, maybe, as you're doing on the right track, on the right path to level up.
Yeah, well, you're killing it, man. And one of the things is, it's inspiring to me and really all of us. How many of you have fell off the wagon? And like, the cool thing about the Level Up community is, like, you can just jump back on. Like, if you just want to start at day one on Monday, you can just start again. And so that's exactly it. Yeah, Melissa said it, hit the reset. I just told I just told Tracy Turnberg just yesterday, we were on the phone, and I said, man, I've been in a funk with my health, with eating right, gym, like exercise, stuff, so I'm back on come this Monday. That's my reset. And Darryl, it's because of people like you and being in that community and posting daily. And we've got so many of you that do this, but you're an example. And I just wanted to say thank you.
Well, thank you guys. I mean, you guys down in Destin, the event's gonna make, click or hit something on the switch to make you go. And the community that was down in Destin and getting down there and walking the beaches with everybody, talking with everybody, it just made you just energized and told you to get going. And it's time to go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well,
Thank you.
That's what, yeah. And that's why events are so important to be there on. So thanks, buddy, for jumping on this morning. I know it's early your time zone, and appreciate all you do.
Darryl, I'm going to throw something else in for you. I'm stunned. I had no idea that your age. I would not have guessed you past 50. I would have never thought that. And the way you work out, you certainly don't act that way. I mean, and I'm very guilty of what Coach Palmer said. I don't do very good with my health. I don't do the right things to take care of myself. I'm really consistent with my business. And that's just the way. I mean, I've tried to get a balance, and I need to get a better balance. But when you just tell me you're 58, and I'm sitting there thinking I am older, but dang, I don't have to do what he does. I just got to get back started to doing something again. And I think we kind of get off track. Part of what this community is about is everybody. Coach Palmer, admitted that he was off track on his health, but we always seem to do the business side better. And I'm going to try to get back track. I mean, I got the COVID, like everybody says. I guess I had it. I got awful sick, and I haven't been able to get back walking on the gym. But I never go in beast mode. But I just need to get back to doing a couple miles a day and do some lightweight things too. But you inspired a lot of people. I want to ask you one thing though. What product do you? I mean, I know you take a lot of products. What product what is the one that you say I'm never going without?
Well, Brent knows what that is. It's the original Limu. I mean, that's pretty much saved my life when I first started, and I won't differ from that. But I got to admit, the reason I look so young is because it's the Lucium products. Every morning and night, right there. So
absolutely.
I can make.
I didn't expect that to come from Darryl, a Lucium product. I was expecting it to say Renew or something. I didn't expect the skincare. So you never know what was their favorite.
No, I got about a list of 15 of them. So, product of the product.
Well, Darryl,
thank you.
Thank you, man. Thanks for being here this morning.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate the community.
Yeah, well, I want to, we had a super Saturday and with David Daldery and Amy and that group down in Andalusia. I was about to call it Bruton, but it's Andalusia, Alabama. And Coach Palmer does such an amazing job when he talks about and a lot of times I think we forget, Todd said, you need to do your thing about residual. And yes, residual is big, but I think I'm going to table that because I want some time to interject what Coach Palmer did at Andalusia. It really hit home with me. He has no idea how many notes I took. I insisted on his PowerPoint. I've got it downloaded. I used it. He doesn't know this. I used it the next day with a new girl that I was training, brand new in the business. I went to Panama City and literally pulled it out. I said, I know this is not my PowerPoint because you see this other guy's picture. It doesn't matter. What he teaches with this is if you will learn this system, it's no different than what Darryl just said about working out, decide he could do an abbreviated version. He could do a little bit less, but you may not do what Coach Palmer does every day. He said he wanted to have me Zooms. Guys, this system that he teaches, I just think if you just we sometimes try to get this business way too complex. Everybody's looking for the magic. Guys, the magic is consistency with being simple. And he calls it the play. And it's really funny, and he doesn't know this. When I was in Arkansas working, ran into a guy that had been a part of Coach Palmer's business. And he said, so what's the play? And I knew exactly who he was talking about because he was joining our company. He says, so what's the play? And I laughed because I said, okay, but know whose team he was a part of. I knew he'd been in Lee Move. And he said, you know who I'm talking about. It's a hunter over there. And he said, Kevin said, so what's the play? And I'm like, you know what? I'm not sure I had an answer for him because I'm like, I didn't have to play. But Coach Palmer uses this. And I think if you will learn that it's a simple way to teach your new representative. So, Coach, I'm going to turn it to you because I think what you do with this and what people learn about this, and I'll probably add some things as we go, but this is, to me, it's the most powerful tool about how simple our business is that we use. So.
Well, and thanks for asking me to do this. And, you know, I'll say this for the people that's looked on here and you go, man, I've seen this. I've seen him do it a couple of times. This is something that for me, I'm very simple minded. Like I've got to have it simple. It's got to be where an eight-year-old can do this. And so when I found this, you know, we don't create anything much in life. We find it, we grab it from someone else, and we make it our own over time. And so for me, when I saw this for the first time from my mentor, I knew it was something that I could focus on. And I've just ingrained it in my mind. I've ingrained it in my daily walk. And I think I'll start with this. You know, on the Coach's Corner yesterday, I said this, but men and women that focus on walking the daily walk, just walking, go so much further than the men or the women that focus on the destination. And I share that with you because here's what that means to me in this business. So many times people will say, or I will say, I want to enroll 5 people this month. Well, that's great. That's a great goal. That's a destination. But how about if I focus on, I want to do this today? Like, what can I focus on input wise today that will lead me by the end of the month to 5 new enrollments? And I'm going to talk to you about that. I'm going to show you what I call the 10 and 2. And Chris, you inspired me because let me share this with you. And Chris probably will come on a little later and talk about this. But when Chris was 17 plus, 17 years old, he decided he wanted to go make some money. And he got involved in this company, and I'm going to paraphrase a little bit, but he got involved in this company selling fire alarms. And he got told by a guy that was in the company, hey, look, if you'll knock on 10 doors, you'll make a sale. Well, Chris was inspired enough to make money that he just said, well, so if I can knock on 10 doors and make a sale, I'll just knock on 10 doors and make a sale because I want to make that money for that day. And so he asked the guy, what do I do? And the guy said, here's a tape or it was back in the 70s.
Fire safety film, VHS tape.
Fire safety film, VHS tape. And here's a free fire extinguisher. And when you knock on the door and they come to the door, if you'll watch the safety video, I'll give you this. And 10 doors, boom, 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 10 doors. And guess what happened? Probably 6 of them got slammed in his face. One of them was no. The other one was maybe later, come back tomorrow. But then he said, here's what he said to me last weekend. He said, I never had, if I knocked on 10 doors, I always made a sale. He said, I became one of the fastest salespeople, like making income, making money. I went out at that point in time, bought a Camaro, and I was rolling in it at 17 years old. But what they had done is they created something so simple that a 17-year-old could do it. And when he said that, I went back to my teaching, and I'm gonna kind of kick this thing off, and it's exactly the mindset that I had several years ago. And follow me right here. But the mindset that I had several years ago, can you see this okay, Chris?
Absolutely. Looks good.
So I'm going to leave this on the side, if you will. So I'm not going to treat it like a PowerPoint. But the mindset that I had several years ago when I first saw this was the 4 base method. And here's what it was for me. When I first saw it, I'm like, this makes so much sense. So what do I got to do? What I got to do if I want to start Monday and ensure or start today? Today's a new week in New Age, by the way. If everybody thinks about it, like you got paid yesterday, hopefully, and it ended the pay period. So today is a new pay period, right? So what do I do from today to Friday? From Saturday to Friday, what's my game plan? And guess what? This is still my game plan. So if you want to know what Brent's game plan is, here it is. Really simple. An 8-year-old could do it. And that is, I'm going to have 10 people on a list this week. Today, I've got 10 people that I'm going to share and work around the bases to whatever extent, right? That's my 10 doors, everybody. That's just like Chris Doyle back 1970 something. 10 doors, right? 10 people. Who are your 10 people you're going to share with this week? And so here's my game plan. I go into today. I don't have to do all 10 today, but I'm going to do all 10 before Friday, before the end of the pay period. And that is get them to first base. That's an invitation to look. So think about all the different invitations you got to get them to first base. Maybe you send them a video. Maybe you give them a call. Maybe you text them. Maybe you stop by and see them. Like it is basically just intriguing their interest. Okay. Maybe it's adding them to Level Up Life, tagging them in a video, tagging them in a transformation story, right? But I'm going to invite them to look. And guys, in the comments, if you can think of other ways to invite people to look, put it in the comments. There's not a wrong answer. It's called sizzle. Whatever is the interest generator, that's called first base. Now, why was this so important to me? Because it was a win. It was an input win. Most people focus on the output. I got to enroll 5 people. I focus on the input. I'm going to get the little wins. I get people to first base. It's like a little mini win for me. It's like Chris Doyle in 1970 going and having the win of knocking on the door, because most people are too scared to knock on the door. But he was willing to boom, boom, boom. That's first base for me. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. And then second base, once I get them to first base, then I'm going to work at that point. I've intrigued their interest. Hey, if I were to send you a video, will you take time to watch it? Sure. Send them a video. They watch it. Okay. That's one way I could invite them to look. They watch a little video. What video do I send? Whichever one I want to right now. Like I go to YouTube and look at New Age and whatever video I like. I mean, for that person, I send it to them. And then from there, I might have to follow up with them. I might have to call them 2 or 3 times to get in touch with them. But ultimately, I'm working them to second base. What's second base? Sharing stories. Facts tell and stories sell. So if you're somebody out there trying to factually tell somebody about Vanali or factually tell somebody about the compensation plan, it's not going to sell as fast as the person that's out there just sharing the success stories. What I mean by that, sharing stories. That means at that point, I'm getting them and somebody on a little Zoom, like a little 2-on-1 Zoom. And then I'm going to let somebody share their story of what's happening with them on the products. Just like Darryl Peterson shared today. He didn't get into the facts. He just told what was going on in his life. Or somebody's financial story. Hey, they're making a couple of $100s a month. That's a win. Or maybe I get a Kim Gray on that's now optimizing an income position, right? Because she's working her business and she's telling her story how she got off disability. Actually called them and said, I want off of that. And Kim would say, that's unheard of. Like people don't do that, but she did. And so I'm sitting at second base. The win for me is when I'm on a Zoom or I'm at a coffee shop or I go like I did yesterday to a network luncheon and there was 5 guests there. Like that's the win for me because I know we're sharing stories and I got somebody to second base. Does that make sense? I hope this makes sense to you. And so then what happens after we're sharing stories? Well, I might have to follow up some more. I might have to make a phone call back to them. The fortune's in the follow up. Most people won't follow up enough. Like they want to go first base, score. Doesn't happen. That's kind of like if you knock on 10 doors, you want 10 yeses. Not going to happen. But here's the thing. I'm going to work them around the base because I know if I get them to second and they hear the stories, I might have to follow up again. But if I get them to third base, which is inviting them to join, guys, it is just like what it's always been, like extending that hand saying, I want you on my team. Will you do this with me? And then be quiet. Let them answer. Extending the hand out, going, me and you could do big things here together. Like, I'll work with you. People want to know they're wanted. People want to be told, I want you on my team. Let's do it together. Will you do this with me? But they also need that 10% push. Most people is too awkward to give them that 10% push, or they'll go on and on and on, and they'll kill the sale. So how many of you found yourself going on and on and on and on and on? It's like, no. That's not the answer. The answer is getting them to third base and looking at them, extending your hand and going, I want you on my team. Will you do this with me? And then be quiet. And when they say yes, then you get out that computer and you enroll them in the system, right? Maybe you got an out. You put them on the out. You get them in the system at that point. But this, Chris, this is where I went. This is what I've been involved with. This is what's ingrained in my mind. And I know this today. I know if I'll work anyone around the base, like maybe it's first base, second base, third base, but is Brent working people around the base? If the answer is no, then I failed today at my personal business. Now, do they all have to be my personals I'm working around the base? No. Like yesterday morning, 8 a.m., I had a Zoom with a gentleman from Africa and a person in the business from Africa. So guess what? That was a win for me. I'm working somebody around the base. I went to a network meeting yesterday at lunch. 5 guests were there. Perfect. That's wins. I'm working people around the base. So I'm focused on the input rather than the output. But guess what happens if you focus on the input? The output will take place. Chris Doyle in the 70s focused on the input, knocking on 10 doors. Guess what happened? The output happened in that somebody signed up, somebody enrolled, somebody bought the fire alarms, and he made money, which is that's the ultimate goal. So then what happens when somebody enrolls? You team up with them. You don't say go sick them. You say, hey, let's make you a top 10 list. Let's start working your people around the base and I'll help you. So I hope this makes sense on the basis. This is what I share. A lot of you have probably seen me share this before, but Chris, I don't think you can share it enough because it's got to get ingrained in people's minds how the input is so important.
I think repetition is the reason we're going to show this so much. I'm going to use it every week with everybody that I work with, and that this is basic fundamentals. I was actually watching college baseball last night, and Todd says it's because my team's better, and he's probably right. But what I was thinking is that this team's on this winning streak, and yet the basic fundamentals that we just showed right here, they had a runner on first, the wind's out there, and they got a big hitter up. He bunts. Because what's he doing? He was just getting the guy to second base. And guys, that's all we're doing. And if you'll just continue to put people around, and I thought they're going to struggle tonight, and ends up they win by like 8 runs. Why? They did some bunting, they moved some people to the next base, and slowly, and it's no different. When I talked to Brent about that, I will tell you the story. It was he would actually tell me to put 10 grains of corn, man, in the old days, in my pocket. And every time I knocked on the door, put the other one in my left pocket. When my pocket on the left was full, my right, he always would say, so will your right pocket, but it'll be cash in your right pocket, not corn. And that was just his joke. 10 grains of corn, switch them to the other side by knocking on the door. And by the way, it didn't count if they didn't answer the door. Knocking didn't count. I had to make contact. And so what's so different about what we do today? It's really not. Not everybody will join. Not everybody's going to get to second base. Some people are going to cut you off quick. But one thing I want to finish on, Coach Palmer said, the key is in the follow-up. I was asked once, how many times do you follow up? Well, I've heard all kind of numbers. Chris Doyle's number is simple. I follow up till they won't take my call. I don't mean it to sound funny, but it's just like, and if they're still talking to me about it, I'm going to continue pursuing it until it just, I won't quit. I'm persistent. You can ask people at the company, I will wear you out about something. And I don't know if and I consider it to be that way, other than it's just, I know this. If you get people listening and talking, it may not even be today, but that seed will grow. And a few weeks from now, something will come up and they'll say, you know what? I remember, as a matter of fact, I'll even give you an example. I have a guy that rented a house for me for years, and I'm coming back from the funeral yesterday, and I couldn't believe he called me. I thought, what is he calling me about? And he said, you know, do you still sell vitamins? I thought that was the funniest way he put it. You still sell vitamins? And I'm like, well, yeah, he said, didn't you tell me? He said, well, my doctor has advised me to get on some omegas and some things. And he said, I don't know nobody. He hasn't rented from me in over 2 years. You're the only person I know of that knows about vitamins. Now, I can assure you, he's going to be on more nutrition than he even thought about. But his doctor told him he needed to get on some omegas to help his cholesterol. So I'm setting him up for a meeting this week to do what? Did I just try to sell him vitamin that day? Nope. I want to get him to first base. I want to get him more than just on some vitamins. I could have sold him an omega yesterday, I promise you. Maybe that's what I should have done. But he said he was willing to meet. So by the time we finish meeting, he's going to look at the business opportunity, and he's going to have a pack that will include the thing. Does that make sense? that seed was planted 2 years ago when he was renting from me, just that I was in the nutrition business. But he called it the vitamins. 2 years later, he wants vitamins.
Chris, that is so good. And I want everybody to understand this, and I'll go back to screen share and go through this really quick. But people ask me all the time, and Chris, I know you're the same way. Like when somebody calls me to do a call with a prospect, the answer is yes. When somebody calls me to go sit with the answer is yes. When somebody calls me to get on a Zoom, somebody just put in the chats, why not does a phone call work over Zoom, or listen, I think the more personal you can make it, the better it works. So does a phone call work? Absolutely. To me, that's always the best. That's kind of like belly to belly. If I can get in front of the person, that's always the best. But there's so many advancements in technology out there that I can't get to Africa today, but I can do a Zoom, right? So you do what you got to do. But the bottom line is, why do I never turn down an opportunity to be in the presence of a prospect, whether it's my team or me individually? Because I'm winning the game of the bases. I don't know if they're going to enroll. I don't know if they're going to buy products. I don't know what they're going to do. I can't control that. Here's what I can control: moving people around the bases. So I'm playing this internal game with myself. And that it, to me, and Chris, I know you do this every day. Like that is why when people ask, like, how do you win? Well, I win by I'm playing this internal game with myself. Because if I focused on the output every day that I got up, I'd drive myself nuts. But focusing on the input, I can win every day. And that's why I hashtag win the day, because that's what I'm really talking about. I'm going to win the day today. I'm going to win the game of the bases today. And I just want to show you this really quick, because Chris wanted me to kind of go through the rest of this where you can see. But at the end of the day, when you team up with somebody, just teach them the same thing. Hey, make a top 10 list. Let's put 2 events on the calendar. Let's work people around the bases. And ultimately, the output of going gold will happen. The output of you hitting the gold status in the company will happen. And here's another thing that I showed at the event is I compete with the calendar. I don't compete with Chris Doyle. I don't compete with Todd Rowland or other leaders in the company, because I can't control that. They might be hitting a spurt of growth in their season, and I want to congratulate them, and I have no control over that. Sometimes we focus, especially in this industry, we focus on everybody else's plate of food while our plate of food is getting cold. Like I'm agitated because Kim Gray's growing right now, and I'm having a season where it's like, man, it's hard for me. No, I don't want to do that. Here's what I want to do. I want to love everybody's growth and know my season's coming because I'm focusing on the input. So I'm going to fill the calendar with input. What is that? Invitations to look, 3-way calls, events that I'm attending. Okay. Whether that's a Zoom event, an in-person event, doesn't matter. I'm going to fill my calendar up. And if my calendar's full, then I'm treating it like $1 million business. And it's going to pay me like one at someday. Someday it's going to pay me like one. So the other thing is the play. And this is the play for me. See, what I just showed you is my philosophy on building a network marketing business. It's that simple. An 8-year-old can do it. But the play is focused around, I'm going to put the play in front of people. And that's the way I judge it. It's 10 and 2. Meaning, if I show the play to 10 people, I could start with the products, but I'm always going to end with the play. Hey, you might not be interested in this, but I always like to show how our people actually generate an income stream. So I'm going to show you that. And here's the thing. I get really good at drawing what you see on the left. So if I were you, I'd take a screenshot of the play. What's the play to me? I look at somebody and I draw up, hey, listen, here's how easy it is. You get started for $29.99. That gets you tools, training, and 15% off all of our products for life. Anything you want. Now, what we like you to do is you order the products you want. Let's just say you order 200 points of products. It's going to allow you to make 15% commissions should you decide to do that. Now, you can go on up. You can order 500 points. That moves you up to 20%. You can go to 1,500 points. It moves you to 30% commissions for life. That never goes away. But here's the play that we like to do with our people. You get started, you're going to know 4 people that are just like you. They want to get healthy. They want more energy. Maybe they want to lose some weight. Maybe they are focused on their immune system. We want to help them get started. We get 4 people to enroll just like you on, let's just say 200 points. You're going to hit the most important rank in our company. We call it gold status, but you're making money with us at that point. And then the next thing we want to do is we want to get you to the ultimate experience trail. So here's what I'm going to promise you. I'm going to work with you. And in your first 6 months, we're going to earn $3,000 cash for you. That's what we're going to do. You're going to get healthy. You're going to start creating a transformation in your health. But here's the deal. You're also going to put $3,000 at least in your bank account in your first 6 months. And the company is going to send you on an all expense paid trip to Utah. We're going to have fun. I mean, it's going to be unbelievable. I always tell them, I'm coming with you, by the way. Okay. Whether you want me to or not, we laugh about it. And then I say, but here's what the most important thing you're going to learn in Utah is how to go, don't get caught up in the weeds, but how to go optimize an income position. And I show them this third thing. I draw up the U and I say, you're going to build 2 lines. They're going to show you how to optimize, which is 13,334. That's all that is products that people is starting to buy up under you. And here's the beauty. At that point, you're stepping into a healthy 6-figure income. So I don't know where you're at right here, but I promise you this is the play that can get anybody to where they want to go. And I show that very confidently. Why? Because I've drawn it. I've drew it out on napkins. I've drew it out on paper. I put it on a Zoom. And I've drawn it out in my notes where they can see it. You draw it because it progressively goes down all the way from, man, I think I can get 4 people. I know 4, my mom, my brother, my sister, to, oh my goodness, $3,000 a month. To put that in perspective, that's about half of my coaching supplement back in the day when I coached. Okay. So, and then the third thing is, how many people would love to have a 6-figure income coming out of this? So you're showing everybody the 3 levels of where they want to be. And then you go, well, how do I know? Well, we've also created a play video for you that you can learn through the video, or you could press play and share the video with somebody. But I would challenge you to get good at drawing the play. Because here's what happens. If just like Chris Doyle in 1970, if I knock on 10 doors, if you see up at the top, when people are thinking and they're going, I want the money, I want the trips, I want to go to Tahiti, I want the financial security. Well, that's a great goal. That's an output, but that doesn't get you there. What gets you there is 10 and 2. Here's what that means. I show this play to 10 people, I'm going to get 2 to join. That's always in my head. If I get 10 people in front of this play, 2 of them will join the business. That's a pretty good stat. Might be more than that. But here's what happens. It moves on to this part, and that is network marketing is pretty simple. There's 2 type people in network marketing. And Chris, I might be going over. Do you want me to
keep going?
There's 2 type people in there's 2 type people in network marketing, and Chris would tell you this. It's connectors and builders. And guess what? You don't get to decide that. You get to show the play, and you get to enroll people, and they decide if they're a connector or a builder. Okay? But that's the 2 type people in network marketing. Now, here's the thing. What are connectors? Connectors are people that when you enroll, will connect you to other people. Okay? Connectors are somebody that will make a top 10 list and let you work their people around the bases. Connectors are somebody that will introduce you to their brother, to their sister, to somebody on social media. They'll start introducing you to people. Connectors look like this. Connectors are sitting down, putting people together and connecting the dots to more people. You see Chris Doyle on the bottom right. He's connecting right there. You see me up there on the far right at somebody's home just a few weeks ago. Guess what I'm doing? I'm connecting. Okay? I'm just connecting with people in the presence of a prospect. That's a connection. You connect with people a lot of times through one-on-ones, whether it's in person or on a Zoom or on a phone call. I'm connecting with people. What do we do at Connections when you're connecting? We're just sharing stories. We're sharing what's going on in our life, how many kids we got, how life is, what's happening in our weight, what's happening in our health, what's happening in our finances. Like we just talk to people. But through Connections, you find builders. Okay? You see this lady right here at the top left, Tammy Motby. Tammy Motby was found through a connector. Somebody connected Tammy Motby to the industry. And then Tammy connected to Robin DeMio in the industry. And guess what? Both of them are builders. Did I decide if they were a builder? No, they did. So quit trying to decide for people. Here's how you can decide. A connector, when you say make a top 10 list, let's start, and you share the bases, guess what they'll do? Make a top 10 list and start sharing, letting you share with their people. But through this, I don't know what just happened. Something just happened to my thing. Bear with me real quick.
Well, I'm going to add something while you're looking for your thing. A lot of people don't get the difference in those connectors and the builders. And I think a lot of people, when they relate, you brought up Tammy and you brought up Robin. A lot of people know that I've worked with Coach Rowland for 20 years. And we calculated it up. There was 27 connectors between Coach Rowland and me. 27 people. Now they were working the business a little and they were making a little money. But I entered his business that was with our previous company, 27 levels down. I could even tell you the people from a gutter guy to how it got there till he met me. And I was a guy who wanted to build. That didn't mean I knew how, but you know what Coach Rowland did? He saw that I wanted to build. And when he found that builder, he made sure I learned everything because I was asking, you'll know. Somebody said, how am I going to know they're builders? Trust me, you will know. Because they'll start asking questions. You'll know I got it. They've done things without your help. They put like Kristen found hot chocolate. She did not know her. She picked up a flyer. Next time she don't need Kristen. She don't need me. I'm learning from her.
And that's so true, Chris, because people ask me all the time, man, I need a builder. I connect to more people, find ways to connect. That's why Chris Doyle will go anywhere to make a connection. He'll even make it up and say, hey, I'm in your area. You know, he's not in their area. He's still in Jackson, Tennessee, but he'll be in their area if they're willing to meet, because he knows if he connects, he fills his calendar up with connections and connectors, it's going to lead to a builder.
Correct.
What does a builder look like? I'll use this story. Tammy Motby had a guest in an Airbnb that her and Jerry owned. Guess who the guest was? Happened to be a lady from South Africa. Her name was Erica. Erica and Melton showed up, rented the Airbnb. Guess what? Ended up connecting to the business. But guess what? She's a builder. Did Tammy make her a builder? Did Tammy ordain her as a builder? No. Erica is a builder because it's Erica. Well, how do you know that you got a builder? It starts looking like these people right here. There's Erica at the top. She gets her 4. She helps her 4 get 4. Before you know it, there's 200 people on the team, and you're going, man, I'm good. No, you're not good. You connected to a builder. Now, you might be good, but you stayed in the game long enough to connect to a builder. What does builders look like? That's what it looks like live. They put the people together. Builders bring the power, right? They bring the auditorium. They bring the home with 100, like they bring the energy. Builders are what creates massive residual income for you. So why is that so important? You connect, you stay in the game long enough in network marketing, and guess what will show up? A builder will show up from a connector. Okay, you're going to look like the smartest person in the room when that happens. And guess what? You just smile inside because you understand the philosophy of connectors and builders. Okay. And when a builder shows up, you just clap your little hands off, and you hope they pass you one day. And then guess what? When they pass you, that's awesome, because you're out connecting to find another builder. Okay. That's how it works. That's how this game works, right? You pray that you never get caught up in ego and greed, and you just keep on putting one foot in the next. And remember my philosophy at the beginning of this. A man or a woman that just walks and gets caught up in the journey of walking will go a lot further than the man or woman that gets caught up in the destination. This is the walking of building a network marketing business. And when you get caught up in walking and you get caught up in the input, the output happens for you. And that's what creates long-term residual income here. That's what optimizes an income position. So, Chris, anything you want to add? That's kind of what I shared at the event, and that's my daily ritual in this business. I mean, the way I feel and the way I think.
I want to point out that Coach Palmer's not going to say this. He got one of the largest organizations in our entire company. It's not just this company. He's made millions of dollars in this industry. Not an income claim, just a fact that he's done well. Doesn't mean you're doing anything. I mean, I tell that people all the time, just because you've done well. But the fact of the matter is, he continues to do the basic fundamentals, the connector. He still does what it needs to do. And I think that comes from coaching football. I know every football coach knows you still got the basic fundamentals of the game. It don't make a difference how cool your plays are if you can't do the basic fundamentals. And I think that that's what sometimes, and I know I'm guilty. I mean, I want to just go sign up that guy that's going to bring 10,000. But what I find is it's a whole lot easier for me to go find 3 or 4 more people to look that'll find me 3 or 4 more people to look, because I've never had that success of just finding that giant person. Something I was going to add, Coach, while you're in your presentation, that I used with my lady that I thought was good, because when I talked to her and I said, well, I'm going to help you, and I'm going to do 90% of your work to get you to Utah. You're just going to connect me to people, and I'm going to make you that $3,000. She said, I just don't know how hard I want to work this. And I said, I know. That's why I'm going to do so much of the work till I get you to Utah. Then you're going to find out, do I really want to make a 6-figure income? She said, well, I do. I said, but you're going to find out the difficulty of doing it, because I'm not going to tell you it's simple to do this, but you're going to get a free trip, and you're going to have $3,000 in your pocket, and they're going to pay for your way. Then you'll say, do I really want to engage in this in a big way, or do I just want the free trip to Utah and my $3,000? And guess what? It's no cost to you to find that out. And I think sometimes we want them to be that big one first. Let them make the choice. They'll decide. And of course, let me assure you, for all of you on, so somebody says, so how do I get to a 6-figure income? You get 3 or 4 people. That's what Tracy trained on that Monday night. You get 3 or 4 people to win Utah, your income's going to go up automatically. But that's not the most important factor. That person's mental mindset. Why do we work so hard on events? Coach Palmer talks about events. He talked about doing events. And by the way, he talked about doing 2 events. He's not talking about destined events. He's talking about, and in Kristen's on today, Kristen did her first home party because y'all talked about the home parties, and Tammy taught her what she was doing. And they got a brand partner and a customer. But you do that enough times, I think sometimes we all want to be at the end before we start to the beginning. And the beginning is what? Get that runner to the next base, bump that person over, whatever it takes. Coach, I love this. You have no idea. I've been doing this 20 years, and sometimes I'm like, I got to go back to the simplicity of this. Call somebody, share somebody, close somebody, teach them to do the same thing again. And we all want a shortcut, don't we?
Oh man. I said it, Chris, just the other day. I fell in love with the industry. I was taught this by a guy in the 90s that was making $250,000, $300,000 a month at a lick in the 90s. No income claims, just what happened. But when I realized it, I'm like, this is something that I can really ingrain in me to visually know if I'm winning every day that I want to build the business. But Chris, like you said, I look up at days, sometimes in weeks and months building this business, and I go, man, I got away from the blocking and tackling of network marketing. And it doesn't matter what company, like I say this all the time, we've got an amazing company because, well, we pay out really good, just so everybody knows. Like, you won't find another company in the industry that pays out as much as we pay out. But the other thing is our products really work. Like there's a lot of companies out there that they're just pushing the opportunity, but the product really does not connect. And so we've got both of those. So if we just do the daily grind, the daily blocking and tackling of what really matters in this industry, the input, then God, like it I go back to Kim Gray. I was on the phone with Kim Gray yesterday, and she's really close to optimizing an income position every single week in this business. Guys, that is walk away, residual income, retire, leave a legacy for your family. And I'm going, 3 years ago, she didn't even know this industry. And today she's sitting there. You know why? Because she focuses on the input every single day.
She sets herself up daily goals and weekly goals to finish. And guys, we could give you all the ways in the world, but it comes down to the basic fundamentals. And Darryl going out and exercising, I'm guilty of not doing that. I assure you, if I could go exercise one day and get in shape, I'd have done that. But that don't work that way. But the business doesn't either. Consistency of what Brent, I love this. We're going to come back and do this again and reiterate it. We have some other people talking about it. I don't think we ought to do this every month. I think we ought to go through this people need to hear it over and over. I know I did. You have no idea. I wrote it down and practiced on it because I'm like, I had gotten away from, I just want to get back to the fast part, get to the end result instead of the thing. So thank you so much, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed this. I know Coach Palmer is wanting to go to the track meet. I don't know if his daughter's running yet or what she even does at the track, but guys, Darryl, thank you for being on. It was a great Saturday. We always enjoy these. We'll have somebody from corporate on very soon. They've been on the road. We're going to bring somebody in from corporate in the next few weeks and hear what's going on in these other countries. If you're keeping up, my gosh, they got the red out event. Did y'all see the red? We had a white out. I saw a red out. I've never heard of a red out. I thought it was pretty cool. A red out event. So there's just so many great things happening in our company. Coach Palmer, thank you. Anthony, I always thank you for being there behind the scenes, not saying anything. Andrea Rosser, she does so. She's the bomb. She does little things that nobody knows. I'm like, she builds these flyers. I used to takes me 2 hours, and she calls me back. She thinks it took a long time, and it was like 6 minutes. I'm like, I can't even get my computer to turn on in 6 minutes. So anyway, y'all have a great Saturday. Enjoy your day, and go. I'm going to start using that as my slogan. Go win your day. That's Coach Palmer's thing. Join us tomorrow night for Andrea's. The Sunday night ladies calls, what I'm calling that now. And then Tuesday night, remember Kristen and Dr. Crystal. I think that's going to be a really good Zoom for people to be plugging into. They've committed every week, 7:30 Central Time, to its short 30-minute overview. Guys, have a great week. Look forward to it. So many great things coming this year. Have a great day. All right, big waves. Coach Palmer's slogan. Big waves for everybody. I love that. Big waves.
Thanks, Chris.